So this is probably one of the darkest things I ever thought up. Honestly, this is some of the darkest shit I ever thought up ever. Yeah. So Gravity Falls Backwoods. Backwoods was basically this AU idea that came to me one day a while ago of just kind of the idea of, hey, what if the people in the Mystery Shack were like people in Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Wrong Turn? What if they were like a bunch of fucking, psycho cannibals? That was literally the idea. That was just totally 100% the idea for that story. So the story is that in this little AU is that it centers around not the actual Gravity Falls group, the actual Mystery Shack gang. It actually centers around Wendy's friends. It actually centers around them, and they discover that Wendy has gone missing. Wendy has gone missing after a brutal home invasion that has been going on for a while. Like, these home invasions have been going on, but nothing's really been this violent as of late. Her whole family just got wiped out. Her whole family got brutally murdered, and she's gone missing. So the cops don't know what to do. They think they can't find her body or something. Like, she's probably already dead. But her friends, like Tambry and the others, are like, hey, let's go look for her ourselves, And they want to go deeper into the woods, but everyone's like, no, those woods are dangerous. They're cordoned off for a reason. Because you see, a while back, there was a series of brutal murders that occurred in Gravity Falls. And the perpetrator was never caught. However, he did leave behind like a family, and while the most of the family had died off, had been killed off because they all ended up going crazy and killing each other, what was left behind were two kids that were put into an insane asylum when they were found at 6 years old, and they were living feral, and they were put into an insane asylum because, yeah, they just didn't know what to do with them, and they had stayed there for 6 years. But now they got out, and you can probably guess what two those are. So it's kind of believed that the woods belong to this rabid family out there. So your typical teens go into the woods to find out what happened. So in here, let's talk about the different personalities that that this version of Gravity Falls has. The Mystery Shack gang has, starting with Stan. Stan was the Gravity Falls killer, and he actually was like a cult leader. He was like a kind of like a Charlie Manson kind of persona, and his family kind of worshipped him religiously. And yeah, he was doing some ritualistic killings for a certain one-eyed triangle. And in here, when the law enforcement was closing in, he had his family kill each other and left them behind, and of course leaving his grandniece and nephew for the police to deal with on their own. He's kind of like I said, a Charlie Manson kind of character, with a little bit of Drayton from Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there. So that was the idea I had for him. Seuss is a big dude who was also a worshipper of Stan, who Stan took in and raised like his son. But Seuss is pretty much mute. He doesn't talk, and he's also kind of like the Leatherface of the family. He is the Leatherface. He's this brutal, violent, strong man who is totally devoted to Stan. Now, as for Dipper and Mabel, they're a little different. Like I said, they're a little different. Mabel's kind of like Sherry Moon Zombie's character from Devil's Rejects. So that was she's very playful. She's playful yet unstable. I think I just rhymed. She loves playing with her food, literally. And she's also just completely in this just total fantasy world where she, where she thinks she's this princess and has these like flashes in her head of like, oh well, off with their heads or what have you, because she read Alice in Wonderland a little too much as a kid. Dipper, on the other hand, is a little more grounded in reality. He's also completely out of his goddamn mind, but he seems a little more sane. He's more like the Bill Moseley character from Devil's Rejects in here, where he's smart, but he's also enjoys what he does, which is being very fucking brutal. And he loves killing. He really got a taste for it in the asylum, where he would break out at night and kill either inmates or staff members at night, and then go back and make it look like it was an accident. So that's his whole shtick. So the four of them are out there, and they are more or less hunting these teens. Now, as the story progressed, I was just really... as you guys know, I don't really care much for Robbie, so I saved his death to be very brutal. But anyway, so you're probably wondering, well, what happened to Wendy at this story? Well, after she got kidnapped and dragged out of her house, she kind of joined the family. Like, she was like, hey, I'm totally okay, guys. Like, come on, I'll show you who saved me. Oh, too bad. I got, these people kidnapped me and drove me insane. Ha. And now we're all gonna eat you. So yeah, that was the thing, is that and in this, the cannibalism is like, in here, the cannibalism is treated as, in this story, as they eat, the more flesh they eat, the more they get closer to their one-eyed god. So, yeah, eating people is how they connect with Bill Cipher in here, or so they believe. This story, like, I took a lot of influence for this very dark idea from, like I said, Wrong Turn and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as well as, like, The Omen and Rosemary's Baby, where I was kind of like, yeah, let's have this pseudo-supernatural kind of thing going on, and, yeah, throw some Rob Zombie shit in there. That was literally the idea. And funny enough, I didn't actually, like, marathon, any of those movies. I didn't marathon, like, any of those movies, and the idea just came to me. I don't know what that says about my psyche, but, I've thought of weirder shit in the past, so this is nothing new. But, anyway, so, yeah. So that was pretty much the idea for this story. I know, admittedly really dark, but I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this idea? Do you guys like it, hate it, dark or not dark enough? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.